Are you an insurance agent and you're wondering, how am I paid, for goodness sakes? You're kind of painfully frustrated on how this is working and no one ever spent the time with you. Well, I'm going to give you the 411 on how you're going to find the deposits being delivered up into your bank account, because believe it or not, a lot of insurance agents don't understand how this works. So I want to really dive into this in the basics for you, and I'm going to even go into what a carrier is. A lot of insurance agents don't understand that the word carrier is just the name for the company that you're selling. So if you ever hear the weird lingo that says carrier, that just means company. And if you hear the word AP, I know it's like you're speaking Greek, right? As a brand new agent, AP just stands for annual premium. Now, the annual premium is how you're paid. Always remember that AP, annual premium, just really equates to I sell the company or the carrier, I sold so much AP. That just stands for annualized premium. The premium is what you're paid off of. So we're going to go into this with pretty good detail, hopefully for you. Let's say you sell a policy. You're like, all right, this is awesome. I sold Mrs. Margaret, Mr. Joe, a policy at $83.34 a month. Well, that's great. So what does that mean to you? $83.34 times 12 is going to give you your annual premium of $1,000. Well, if you're working for a great organization, and let's say you're paid 100% compensation. Comp just means compensation. That's all that means. But that's $1,000 that you're going to earn, right? Well, let's understand that if you wrote, let's say, checking or savings business, you're only going to get a 75% advancement, okay? So what you're going to do to find this number out is you're going to take your $1,000, which is what you truthfully earned, at 100% compensation. This $1,000 is yours as long as the business is sticky and stays. It's kind of like the insurance company will give you that loan, all right, this act of goodwill. They're going to advance you, just like a car loan, $83.34 times 12. I got my AP, right? That's how your compensation is calculated at 100% comp. If you wrote checking or savings business, or what we call EFT business, that just means electronic funds transfer. That means you earn that advancement on most carriers. I say most because there's a couple of them that may not advance you the full 9 month, which is what they call it, or 75% advance. Same terminology here. That means that on $1,000 of commission, 1,000 times 0.75, 75%, that means you're going to get a deposit, like a loan, of $750. This is amazing. That's why there's no better place to cash flow than when you're in final expense insurance sales. So you sold a policy for $83.34 a month, $1,000 of AP at 100% comp. You're going to get 75% of that deposited up into your bank account because you wrote checking or savings business. That is mind-blowing for some agents. They are just like blown away by this fact. There's no better life than selling final expense insurance when you sell good business. But you get that advancement. Now, some of you are probably going, where in the world is my money? You still owe me $250 here. There's a disparity. Well, you're going to get the remainder of that $250, which is owed to you, but it's going to be paid to you on month 10, on month 11, and on month 12. It comes a little later, kind of like an allowance. And that's going to not be paid as a lump sum of $250 after this $750 is paid. It's going to be dispersed to you at $83.34 a month over the course of month 10, 11, and 12, giving you the full $1,000 that you're owed. Now, let's say you wrote card business, right? This is why it's so important when you're new to have good turnkey systems, have proven power scripts so that you can really get the best chance of attaining that EFT business, so that you can get that advancement, because this cash flow is really critical to you paying for your leads. Leads are the lifeblood of the industry, and if you are just getting paid as earned, man, it's not as fun. Let me show you how that works. You earned $1,000, right? But you only took a card for payment. Wah, wah. What am I really going to get if you're wondering that, here we go. At even 100% commission, for the purpose of this video, $83.34 a month. Well, you know what you're going to get if you sold that this month? You're going to get $83 times 12. It's going to be paid every month for 12 months straight. Kind of like an allowance, but it's hard to cash flow like this, giving you that full $1,000 of compensation. But it's being paid over the course of 12 months. So here, let's say you sold 2 policies at $80.34 a month here, and you're at 100% commission. Woohoo, right? Well, if you sold 2 of those with checking or savings business, you're going to have your checking account blow up with $1,500 if you sold 2. This is power for you. Now you got cash flow. Cash flow's king. 2 policies at $83.34. Boom. Your checking account is blowing up. This is big. $1,500. That allows you to buy leads and be a beast and blow, okay, forward here in buying leads, seeing the people. If you're in telesales, like what we do here at jasonfinalexpense.com, you can get just powerful growth here by getting the EFT and getting this cash infusion. It's a big deal. And then you're going to have the remaining $500 if you sold 2 of these that are going to hit your bank account on month 10, 11, and 12. So take that times 2, boom, boom, boom. That's how the pay works. Now we're going to go into how maybe a guaranteed issue carrier works, or maybe if you're working for a company that has diminished compensation. Let's say they're only paying you like a 6% day one business. Believe we're going to go into this with some detail for you, and I hope this is helping you. So before I go into this, by all means, there's always free resources available for you at jasonfinalexpense.com. I do recruit and train and partner some of the most powerful new agents and veteran agents across this nation. We sell a lot of final expense, a lot of life insurance, big ULs, and a ton of annuities and even Medicare insurance. So if you need good resources or maybe a good work family to call a home, get taken care of a little better, we're always here to help you. And free resources, even if you work for another agency, that's totally fine. So this hopefully will be helpful to you. But let's say you work for a company that only pays you 65% comp. Okay, this happens. Some agencies pay way less than this. Some captive insurance companies pay as low as 30 and 40% compensation. Yikes, right? Kind of tough to cash flow yourself when you're in a really low comp. But if you're writing guaranteed issue business, there's not as much meat on the bone here. These sweet people are really sick, and what that really equates to you is that the carriers, the company once again, doesn't pay you as much compensation. Okay, so if you're at a 65% comp grid, and for the purpose of this, let's just say you sold a policy for $83.34 a month, multiply that by 12, giving you once again $1,000 of AP. That just stands once again for annual premium. So this is what your pay is always based off of. It's annual premium. So to get your pay calculated, you're going to take this $1,000 of AP, you're going to multiply this, okay, by 0.65 if you're using a calculator at a 9-month advance. We're going to get into that in a second, but this 0.65 of this is going to give you $650 of compensation, right? This is what you're going to get paid on. So you got the $650, that's your calculation for what you're ultimately going to get paid. But if you wrote checking or savings biz, okay, and you get an advancement of, let's say, 9 months or 75% advancement, that means you're going to have a total commissionable amount of $487.50 big smackaroonies here. That's what you're going to get paid. That is your 75%, okay, advancement on your 650 comp. So what'll take place is you're still owed $162.50. This is money they still owe you. It's going to come to you, but it'll come to you on month 10, 11, and month 12 with most carriers. I say most carriers because there's some weird GI carriers that pay a little funky. Some of them won't advance more than like $500 bucks, and then they pay the rest what they call as earned. But if you're writing checking or savings business, or you get that good old EFT, this is why it's so important to use proven power scripts when you're attaining success in the telespace, and even face-to-face for that matter. It really does matter because you're trying to get your money right. And if you get that checking or savings business, you can really knuckle down and help them understand the value of giving you the routing and account number. This makes a big difference. When you're advanced 487, and then they owe you the additional monies of the 650 here, right? On month 10, 11, and 12, they're going to pay it to you as earned, which means you're going to get a deposit of $54.17 on month 10, 11, and 12, giving you the full $650 of compensation, even though you wrote $1,000 of AP here. So at 65% comp, this is how you can kind of calculate what takes place, and then you get that remainder as earned. Boom, boom, and boom. Now, let's say you wrote card business, okay? If you're writing a ton of card biz, boy, it's tough to stay in business because you know what you're going to get? $1,000 of AP. Your commission is 65% here. Well, that gives you a compensation of $650. Well, if you're only seeing a bunch of card business, that means your paycheck is going to be $54.17 whole pennies over, okay, the next 12 months, okay? So if you're only getting paid on, let's say, a premium of $83.34, and you're paid only $54.17, hard to cash flow yourself to buy leads, believe it or not. Wouldn't that make sense? So if you're, let's say you wrote one piece of business that was card business this week at 65% comp grid, you're going to get paid that full $650, but you're not going to see that money in your checking account until the course of a whole 12-month period, because they're putting those deposits, $54.17, $54.17, $54.17, $54.17 on the monthly. Now, if you've been in this business as long as I have, I've done this industry a long time. Okay, we're talking decades here, but this won't hurt me, but a brand new agent needs to cash flow. You need the money to buy the leads and stay in the business. You're not sitting on a war chest of finances here, and that can hurt you if you write a bunch of card business. Not that it hurts the client, but it hurts you when you're trying to cash flow. So if, let's say you sold two pieces of business at 65% comp, that would give you, right? Let's play with this. Let's just do, wrote two pieces as earned, card business. Well, that means you're going to get, okay, $54.17 times 2, okay? You're just over, just simple math here. Two card business, really good comp, right? You are dealing with, okay, my goodness, what? Under $110. Boom. That is like not great, okay? So you're under here, not over even 110. That is ugly. If you're under 110, over 110, you're like, I'm going to code out of this industry. This ain't great. I paid for leads and I got $110, sold two policies. Wouldn't you rather sell maybe two pieces of EFT business at, let's say, now you get an advancement of the 650, which you're compensated on, right? 487. If you're getting 487 times 2, dear goodness, that's a massive difference in your cash flow. Cash flow, once again, is king. This is why it's so important to get EFT, get the advancement if you can, so you can really accelerate in this career, because if all you're writing is card business, it's not going to be real fun long term. You're going to get the same money though. So understand where you're going, not maybe where you're at right now. But card business happens. Don't be afraid to take card business. Nothing wrong with that. But I want you to win, and you're not going to win all day if all you're getting is as earned. So if you write, let's say, two card businesses, that 65% comp grid, okay, great. You made that 110, okay, which is a hair under, but just simple math. And then let's say you wrote two pieces of that 100% kind of business, right, where you're making that $83 and whatever a month. Okay, 8 and 8, we got 16. So you made what? $160. So you're cash flowing, just simple math, you know, rough, okay, 270, $270. Card business. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Now, if you sell a bunch of this card business, believe it or not, that's pretty amazing. You do that a lot. You do 10 of those every week. Woo, baby. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, that's some big cash flow over the course of the next 12 months. You basically created a pension for yourself, but that's a pretty rough way to stay in business compared to having this massive, massive movement of advancing. So this is kind of how the basics work. I hope this helps you. I hope it gives you some clarity on how your compensation can really help you capitalize once you understand it. But it's important to know, how am I paid? You want clarity. You want to understand the carrier just means the company. AP equals annual premium. And I hope this puts you in a better place just to understand a very simple business. It's not an easy business by any stretch, but I hope this helps you understand how you are compensated. Hope it makes it clearer for you. And if I can do anything to serve you in any way, please reach out at jasonfinalexpense.com. Free resources there to get you Social Security calendars, get you assets that can help make you the top producer that you know you're capable of becoming. Thanks for joining with me today. Thanks for hanging out. And if I can do anything to serve you, reach out. I'm always here to be a resource for you in the business, and I hope this brings you a real value today. We'll see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.